ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your host, Terry Tugboat, joined today by a very special guest, our former co-host, no longer, but is here today for a special guest segment, Daniel Bien.
Yep. Great to be here,
Terry. How are we doing today, Dan?
We're doing great. Yep.
Dan, we have noticed that the approval ratings for the show have gone up drastically since your departure for reasons we can't disclose on the show. But it is good to have you back. Maybe not for this episode, for the ratings purposes. Good to have you here, Dan.
Thanks, Terry. Today's episode is sponsored by Slip and Slide, makers of the children's toy Slip and Slide, and also a training tool for the New York Giants quarterback Jackson Dart to avoid repeated concussions again in the future.
All right, and last week's matchups, just a quick recap of Week 10. We had Bill's Bumbling Bobcats beating his brother, the Bower of London, convincingly, I would say. Not by a little margin, by a large margin. Lamar, you ready for it? Eked out a win over Nakua in My Coffee. In Nakua in My Coffee's defense, they had several injuries that occurred during the game.
Sounds like an excuse.
Mm-hmm. Litter Biscuits, recently name changed Litter Biscuits, has had the win against still more effort than Josh, essentially the bye team. Jay Stu racking up the points, 165.38 for the week to defeat Bo's Bandits in a battle of middle of the pack teams. Hope I Emeka it with a slim loss to We're Not Worthy. We'll get to We're Not Worthy's performance later on the season. A lot of wins they're racking up, but point totals,
Lots to be desired.
Yeah. Philly Special continues their just rampage through the league, courtesy of Jonathan Taylor. 176 points for the week, just soundly thrashing Lamb Bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Ending Lamb Bam Thank You Ma'am's 4-game win streak.
Oh, I was not aware. Okay. And we had Team GABA, a resurgent Team GABA, off of last year's performance, beating Drake May and friends. Drake May, MVP candidate, but apparently not quite good enough to carry Drake May and friends to victory.
Apparently not. Our highest scoring team this week, as previously mentioned, was Philly Special, finishing with just over 175 points. Yet to cross the 200 mark threshold, but they've crossed 150, I believe, 7 times now, which is just remarkable from Albion.
Thank you, Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, once again, this week's highest performing player, the first of the season to cross the 50-point threshold mark. Kind of a low-scoring year from individual players, but Jonathan Taylor, as previously mentioned, put her on a rampage through the Falcons' defense this week with multiple scores of 50-plus yards and is carrying the Indianapolis Colts in America and in foreign countries.
Multiple 3-touchdown games.
Yep.
Unfortunate for the opponents of Philly Special.
Our bust this week was Bryce Young, who had 1.5 points in a Panthers loss to the Saints a week after beating the number 2 team in the NFL in the Green Bay Packers. I don't understand this team, and it makes many Panthers fans drive themselves to drink.
Are we talking number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, by the Carolina Panthers? That Bryce Young?
Unfortunately so.
Okay.
And then our smallest margin victory in our game of the week, as previously mentioned, We Are Not Worthy, inking one out over a Hope I Make It. Just over 2 points, the difference there. And shocker, Maryland BM loses again.
Wow.
Who could have seen that coming?
That's harsh. Rumor mill is flying. Some fantasy experts saying We're Not Worthy. Maybe not worth their 7-3 record.
And second place overall.
Yeah.
And now we will talk about just that as we give you a updated look at the standings.
See what I did there, by the way? We're not worth
I do see what you
So,
did there, Dan.
Okay.
The Bower, and that's part of the reason you are no longer on the show. The Bower of London, as previously mentioned, fell to Bills Bumbling Bobcats. A huge win for Joshua Bien, as he now flip-flops places with Colby Bien and puts himself into the playoff picture, claiming that final seed a must-win game, and boy, did he deliver.
On a 3-game win streak, I don't know if you're still more effort than Josh. Namesake for the bye week team is still applicable.
Especially when we examine on the far right column there, Bills Bumbling Bobcats 12 waiver moves, which is about middle of the pack and 10 times more effort than he normally puts in. So
impressive.
Should a change for the bye week team be in order? Let us know in the comment section. And then again, the current playoff picture: Philly Special still the top dog. Lamar, you ready for it? The last of our 6 and 4 teams. I feel as if the top 4, from a record standpoint, have maybe we're not deserving of second place, even though they are 7 and 3. But Team GABA and Lamar, you ready for it at this point? The clear cut in the top 4 seed conversation there, and then Team GABA and Drake May and Friends, and then Bows Bandits and We Are Not Worthy would be the final matchup. Bows Bandits on a 3-game skid. As previously mentioned, Albion in a class by himself. You look at the points for there. No one else has. One team has just gotten over 1,300. No one else has. Al's closing in on 1,500 points for. Just running away with the league, and maybe some tests in order for Albion's drafting strategy after hitting on all of his first 7 picks so far.
Yes.
And then again, we talk about the points for, if you look at there, from teams 3, starting with Sally Stewart and ending with Lam Bam, thank you, ma'am. A perfect stack, even though Team Gavin, are you ready for it? A game ahead, which is probably reflected by how many points for they have. But then, we previously alluded to it, We're Not Worthy, the big outlier that 7 and 3, second place overall, not tied for it solely in second place. But in terms of points for, if he were to be a member of the stack, would be in 8th place right now, behind Bows Bandits. So We're Not Worthy. I don't be shocked if they fall in the first round of the playoffs to the 7th place team, whoever that may be.
Oh, wow. That's a hot take.
Indeed it is. And speaking of 7th place teams, right now that would be Bows Bandits, who is on a 3-game skid after starting 5 and 2, and the competition doesn't get easier for them. Paul Bien gonna have to figure some things out if A, he wants to keep his playoff spot, and B, do something if he is able to get there. And then on the other end of the streaks right now is Bills Bumbling Bobcats, who we mentioned just beat Colby Bien on a 3-game win streak, and he's rolling after starting out 2 and 5.
Yes, he is.
And then
even happier this week that he has bragging rights over his brother. Rumor has it. Yeah.
Rumor has it.
I haven't heard him mention much about that, but perhaps I should remind him that he did in fact win convincingly over his brother last
Or
week.
maybe we should remind him of that. Anyway, on a more depressing note, Hope Iameka has officially been eliminated from playoff contention. We talked about them this week on a 6-game losing, or last week rather, we talked about them on a 6-game losing streak after starting 3-1, and it is all frowns in Maryland Bien's camp right now.
How would we know what we talked about last week, since the episode has not yet been released?
The episode has been edited, recorded. YouTube just threw a temper tantrum during the uploading process. So to clarify there, hopefully we will get that out to you before this one. You can enjoy too on your Saturday,
double
the
dipping.
16th.
Double your fun, double your pleasure.
Yep. Another reason why this is a solo show nowadays. Lamar, you ready for it? We talked about them a little bit previously. Again, started off strong, then kind of had a fall after back-to-back losses, and then lost 3 of 4. Now she's won 3 of 4.
Perhaps that coincided with the injury to their namesake.
Perhaps it did indeed. But I view this as a team that finishes 9 and 4 when you look at the cakewalk she has the rest of the way with Lam Bam, thank you, ma'am, her husband, and then Joshua Bien. not a
Wow.
challenging road for Andrea Bien. She could finish on a 5-game winning streak and get some good momentum going on in the playoffs, especially the difference Lamar Jackson has made now that he is back.
I don't know that any of the teams you just mentioned, the remaining teams on her schedule, are going to go quietly.
I think Litter Biscuits has already gone quietly. The other two could be
16 moves suggest otherwise. 16 waiver moves.
16
suggest
waiver
otherwise.
moves suggest desperation from Micah Shola. The other two games, maybe she falls, but I view those as wins. And then these are your Week 11 matchups, Dan.
Oh, okay. Apparently, this is my spot. The Bower of London will take on We're Not Worthy. Bower of London hoping to get back off the skid of his resounding defeat to his brother last week. Nakua in My Coffee takes on his wife, Jay Stu, in which should amount to a cakewalk for Nakua in My Coffee. Lamar, you're ready for it, takes on sibling Lamb Bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Lamar, you ready for it? According to the projections post Thursday night, supposed to blow Lamb Bam, thank you, ma'am, out of the water, too. Already a 17-point win in the projections.
Ooh, okay. Well, we know how much stock we put in those projections, which is not a lot. Yahoo, you know. All right, Litter Biscuits, looks like off to a good start thanks to the Patriots based on his 25 current points, but taking on Philly Special, who we've already given his plaudits on this episode. So probably, unfortunately, another defeat for Litter Biscuits. Hope Iamekit, freshly eliminated from playoff contention, taking on another senior citizen, Team GABA.
Team GABA able to get some knitting and some hobbies done this week. Not much attention needed to be paid to fantasy football when you look at her opponent.
Wow. Uh-oh. You are just coming with the heat today. All right. Still more effort than Josh. I'm guessing we'll probably lose to Josh.
The much anticipated matchup
Yes.
of still more effort than Josh versus Josh.
And we've got Bo's Bandits taking on Drake May and Friends. Drake May and Friends, again, another strong effort from Drake May Thursday nights. So off to a flying start, but projections currently favoring Bo's Bandits, so stay tuned.
Projected to be 2 of our 3 highest scorers this week, so that should be a shootout
yes.
between Paul Bien and Brady Shola. So much for watching our Week 11 SBA podcast. Terry Tugboat, as always, joined alongside this week Dan Bien. Let us know if you want to see Dan reoccurring more often on the show, although I doubt that's the case. But again,
because he can't fit it in his busy schedule.
We do value viewer feedback, so again, let us know how we're doing there. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you Week 12. After this week, just 2 games until the playoffs start. Week 14 this year, as we've talked about before, had to bump it up due to some scheduling changes. So the race is firmly on.
Yes.
And we'll see.
And if you've enjoyed this episode more than all the previous ones this season, which is highly likely, please consider subscribing, reposting, or liking this episode on YouTube.
We'll see you next time.